Hello and greetings, fellow StarCrafters. PGM Minecraft here with game number 2 in this best of 3, by the way, which I don't think I've mentioned yet, between Mouz.Mana, the green Protoss player over here on the right side of the map, and over here on the left side, kind of in the bottom corner, but not quite in the corner, as that's not the way dual site works. It is ESCGoody. Now, as I just mentioned, this map is in fact a dual site, and here's the important question. Oh, it looks like it is. Yes, the gold version of the map. The dreaded gold version, although it's only 5 minerals. I wonder if it was always like that or not. But basically, a lot of maps which had golds previously, like Antigua Shipyards and Belshire Beach and dual site, have almost all had their golds removed. And the reason for that is it's perceived as being pro-Terran. And, I mean, this might have been basically just a GSL decision because the GSL was just like flooded with Terrans for the longest time. There was a perception that at least something was pro-Terran, and I mean, a lot of Protoss players kind of complained that they thought it was Ghosts are too powerful or something like that. They did do a minor patch to Ghosts, but I do want to say it was probably playstyles and also partially maybe and maybe also the gold minerals, which is another thing that they're talking about here, because the difference between Terran players and any other race when it takes a gold is that, first of all, Terran players can get planetary fortresses, and it actually looks like he was a little bit behind there, Goody, on his SCVs. Mana's actually, well, he chrono boosted, so that's not a very good comparison, but maybe I'm just imagining things, I don't know, but he wasn't actually queuing up any SCVs there. So it looked like he missed a couple of seconds, not the biggest deal in the world, but the difference with Terran players on gold maps, gold minerals, is that they can, first of all, planetary fortress, obviously, to help protect it, which is basically the most secure command center area that you can build. I mean, Zerg players can build spines, but that doesn't compare to a planetary fortress. And, of course, you can build turrets around the planetary as well. And, on top of that, Terran players also have mules, which allows them to drop on a gold, and basically just like super saturate it. And it's not just super saturating a gold, it's like, let's say they do a ninja expansion on this map as a very good example. So you build a command center here quite early and it doesn't get scouted by your opponent. You don't actually have to risk transferring your workers all the way across this map, which takes so long for them to get there, then start harvesting. And obviously it looks like there was a little bit of lag there, or possibly a pause. No, it must have been lag. It takes so long for the workers to get there, and it makes you lose a lot of minerals. But Terran players just drop a bunch of mules on the gold, and so when they're sneaking golds that quickly, it allows them to, just get tons and tons of extra minerals with that ninja expansion, and it makes it really hard for your opponent to catch up unless they scout it pretty quickly. And even then, it's really not guaranteed that you're going to lose. And it also, on certain maps, not really on this map, if you're a Protoss player and you forge fast expand, it really makes it easy for Zerg players, especially on like Antigua Shipyard, to go ahead and just go take the gold as either your first or second expansion right away, and then you can just start saturating that right away. And a Protoss player really can't do that much about it. I mean, I guess they could try to cannon it or something, but that's not typically going to be really that effective in that sort of situation. So it looks like Mana is actually going for a 1 gate right now. He does have double gas, which says to me he's either doing the Huck style build, which means he's going for, ooh, he's getting a second stalker. Dark Templar? Alright, I'm not exactly sure what he's going to be doing next. He might be getting a Robo. That's quite possible, as Robos tend to be quite gas heavy. Or he might just be banking the gas, which is kind of the Huck build that I was talking about. Looks like this probe is just going to go ahead and scout around. I think he probably didn't spot... Oh, he did spot the bunker building, but quite interesting. But the Huck build is where you have 1 gateway. Looks like a second gateway coming down. It's 1 gateway, double gas, and then you expand. And then what you do is you bank all the extra gas. Okay, so it's going to be a 3-gate pressure build. That's why I got the second gas. Okay. And then you just bank up the extra gas and use that to get sentries a little bit after your expansion. So it's a little bit less economy than a... Oh, where's the Twilight Council? There's the Twilight Council. So he is, in fact, going Dark Templar. Okay, that's why he got the double gas. I missed that in the production tab, but there it is. And he could be going Blink. He has got 3 Stalkers, actually, so... Yep, there it is, actually. I guess I shouldn't have jumped to Dark Templar. I just saw that there were 250 gas, and so typically when you have that much gas, you want to go Templar, although, I mean, it looks like he just didn't time it out correctly. But it looks like he's going for a 3-gate, probably going to get a 4th gate, and it's going to be an all-in. He actually has 2 probes here, which is supposed to stop any sort of SCVs from getting inside. Unfortunately, though, I mean, I feel like that kind of gives away that you're going something that you really want to hide. Stalker did move around. I believe it got a Marine kill, possibly that it was an SCV kill instead. And looks like it's going to be a... medevac is coming out, as well as a siege tank. I would say a Hellion drop, but he's not getting more Hellions. I'm not exactly sure what the medevac is for at this point in time. I guess it's just for healing or something like that. And yeah, here's the robotics facility that's going to be for the Observer. And of course you can warp stalkers in on that pylon as well. Observer will be able to fly up here, blink up on top, and deal some good damage, get around the bunker right there. So yes, this is going to be a 3-gate blink stalker all in. I'm not sure why I opted for 3 gates instead of 4s. You can produce off of 4. I suppose because he had to build the Twilight Council, blink, and Robo. You know, he wanted to, I mean, you could basically support it off of 3 gateways, and I think it lets you get additional stalkers out sooner, but you just warp less in as time goes on, so that's kind of the difference there. But look at that, and the Observer is being chrono boosted right now. I do not believe Goody has any idea what's going on. However, Goody is also not expanded. Oh, okay, so he was going for a 1-1-1 build, actually. And Blink Stalker build can do pretty well against the 1-1-1 build, but this is two siege tanks and a medevac and that many Marines. I don't see this going terribly well for Mana right now. The Observer should be going in pretty quickly now. And if it gets there before the Banshee, should be in pretty decent shape, but that's still a lot of firepower, especially if Goody ends up getting a bunker right behind that. Did he just... Oh, okay. I thought I saw him blink incorrectly right there. Looks like he... Alright, so this has definitely been spotted by Goody right now. And looks like he's just going to try to focus fire down this bunker right now. Bunker will be taken out. Now, the big advantage here for Mana, of course, is that Stalkers are quite good against Marines without stim. Banshee is going to be out. That's definitely going to help him there. And Supply Depot is not going to move to be safe. And actually... Oh, he's actually dealing a decent amount of damage. Although siege tanks from behind are dealing a lot of damage to those Stalkers right now. He's taken quite a bit of damage. However, the Marines are evaporating quite quickly. That was really good Stalker control right there from Mana. Wow, I don't think... Yeah, I think that was units lost. As he is actually behind a little bit. So I guess maybe he lost more Stalkers than I thought right there. And actually, it looks like he's going home now. But that looked at least it looks like it was going to be a lot more effective than I thought, considering the position of those Stalkers. But I guess those siege tanks were just dealing way too much damage from behind. So it looks like he is in fact going to go home. Nice job being able to take out that Banshee right there. I think he spotted it moving out. He must have, and that's why he moved those Stalkers down. And then I think he's going to continue it. He did warp in 3 additional Stalkers right there, so the Stalkers shouldn't be moving down right here. And so it's actually a 1-base versus 1-base strategy. Unfortunately now, for Mana, those siege tanks that are sieged up now, that is going to entirely prevent any sort of attack right now. As you can see, his blink Stalkers are quite across. Now, one thing he could do is actually blink on top of the siege tanks. It'd be extremely risky, though. And I'm not sure I'd recommend this plan. He is going to do it, though. He's going to focus fire the siege tanks. Siege tanks are going to go down almost immediately. I guess it was, in fact, worth it as he took out the siege tanks all right away. Banshee is going to pop out, but it's not going to come out in time. And those Stalkers do have blink now and are able to blink on out of there, which is going to take away a lot of the hurt of the 1-1-1 build. Unfortunately, though, the command center is on the way right now. I'm not sure if Mana has spotted this. It looks like he has spotted it indeed. He is now trying to focus fire some additional Marines right here and doing some nice and micro. However, you're not actually able to dodge Marine shots. And that siege tank out there is also going to be able to prevent any sort of more shenanigans. I mean, they'll be able to pick off some of the Marine buildings. But I don't think, and actually, he's actually still walking around with the vast majority of those SCVs. I would probably recommend Mana to actually expand behind this. Oh, he's going to move in again on another risky move. Looks like those SCVs, though, and Marines are going to be able to finish taking out those Stalkers right there. Not a very good job from Goody on that second time around. He now sees the command center and realizes quite how far behind he is. He's going to blink on out of there and maybe start a Nexus. That second blink inside was just, I think that was just, I mean, the SCVs were already pulled. He saw the SCVs pulled, obviously, because he had the Observer there. And, like, what's the point? I mean, I think that he could easily have expanded behind it. He's going to expand behind it now, but not after he lost his Stalkers here. He's going to be 10 behind on supply. It's really not going to help him all that much. Looks like he will actually finally do what's getting there with the supply depot, though, is like miraculously saved before. Siege tank sieging up is going to scare away those forces. And, I mean, you know, if he hadn't done that second blink in, he would have 3 or 4 additional Stalkers, and I guess Goody would have 1 more siege tank and some more Marines, maybe. But, I mean, really, he would have been in better shape, and he probably would have been able to expand sooner if he committed less to that attack. Looks like he is going to be able to fire a little bit of the orbital command, and actually Goody's going to want to look that off quicker rather than later. As, oh my god, that was way too premature of a scan right there. Looks like one of the Banshees was picked up almost immediately. I think that was a Banshee. I don't think that was, yeah, that was a Banshee, not a siege tank. But I'm not sure why it doesn't move the orbital command, actually. Move it just a little bit farther out of the way so they can't target it from the low ground. They at least have to commit to the blink inside. And actually, Mana's doing quite well now. I mean, he's still behind on supply, and I think he's probably behind on harvesters. Yes, he is behind on harvesters as well. But his opponent's command center is actually stuck inside of his base, so it's actually not doing him any good right now. His Nexus, meanwhile, has just finished. By the way, All-Star 2, this medevac, has healed so many Marines this game, been quite effective. So while I question that decision, actually getting a medevac is quite smart. If you're going for a 1-1-1, it's quite effective. But the transfer here is going to go ahead and put Mana in the lead in terms of economy, at least temporarily, before his opponent can move out. Goody, I'm not sure exactly what Goody's plan is right now. He's still building Banshees, he's still building Siege Tanks, which tells me that he's actually still planning on basically a 1-1-1 continuation. Of course, it's going to be off of 2 bases. He does have the additional orbital command, and it looks like he's floating that orbital up to the northern base right here. But that orbital command is actually going to spot oh, he's going to the gold. Speaking of mules on the gold, but unfortunately for him, that is going to be spotted, but it will allow him to take out these forces right here. Now, one thing he should probably actually end up transitioning to is I would actually like to see him get a tech lab on that remaining barracks right there, or at least one of his barracks, and either getting Stimpack or at least getting Marauders right now. It looks like the all-in is going to commence right here. Alright, so we've got 4 Siege Tanks, 2 Banshees, a bunch of Marines and some SCVs. It's going to require some good control from Mana, but charge is finished for Mana, so that's going to be very nice for him. I almost wonder if this force is just designed to move out. Looks like 1 Stalker went down there. Mana's going to be able to go ahead and get away, picking up some SCVs. Ooh, not a very good engagement there, losing a Stalker for a Marine. Not a very good trade. He can go ahead and blink farther away in order to try to avoid this. Alright, what do we have back home? We have a good amount of Zealots. We have 9 Zealots. We have an Archon. Oh, geez. I think he's just trying to delay as long as possible, but this force is pretty unrelenting right now, and Goody is going to want to try to siege up pretty quickly right now, and we're going to have to see exactly how this engagement turns out. It looks like it's going to be pretty good for Goody, I would guess, as unfortunately for him, those 3 siege tanks are on top of each other, so the Blink Stalkers are able to get on top. Oh, God, nice bunker wall right there. Alright, so Mana, I think, needs to give up this Nexus. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. There's no way he's going to be able to save that Nexus. He's actually going to move over for a counterattack, it looks like. He's probably going to want a sentry here, or at least warp an additional sentry. Oh, he's supply blocked right now. So these forces from Goody are going to go ahead and move into his base. These forces from Mana are going to go ahead and counterattack. I do not think he got a probe out of the base. He did not, in fact, sneak a probe out of the base. He's going to want to try to sneak a probe around somewhere. Not sure if he's going to be able to get that done. Nice little block here. Zealot is going to stop that command center from moving in. Meanwhile, the Zealots are going to go ahead and move into the space. So it is going to be a base trade scenario right here. Looks like a number of probes actually were able to escape, which is very good right now for Mana. It's something he absolutely needed to have happen in order to win this base race. Otherwise, all he has to do is kill all these buildings right here, and he's just going to auto-win since there's no way to base race a Terran, and that's the situation because they can obviously fly their buildings around and just kind of escape your general destruction right here. Looks like this floating command center is going to go over here and learn to mine right now. So ESCGoody should be in pretty good position overall, I would guess, as long as he makes sure not to get something silly happen to him, so like getting caught in siege. But it is worth noting that their supply counts are relatively similar, and he got the orbital command on first. So there is only going to be 1 orbital for his opponent. Looks like Goody not quite able to save that orbital command. He's trying to float a 2 barracks and a factory over. And okay, so it looks like this force is entirely clean to Protoss buildings. That was actually a very thorough base trade right now for both players. They just like destroyed each other's bases entirely. Like there was absolutely no turning around. Now a Nexus does need to be going down pretty quickly. I believe these have been revealed, by the way. Make sure you check that. Rebuilt their base, and now as long as they're being revealed. Alright, so it looks like they were being revealed for a while, so he knows the existence of those buildings. Meanwhile, he is expanding to the gold right here. That's going to be very smart, because it's going to let him catch up more economically. It's also closer to his army, and not going to be spotted by those barracks. Very nice. Not sure. Goody probably, I mean, I guess you don't have to check, but the checking there would not have been too bad of an idea. Looks like these Blink Stalkers are going to go ahead and move in. They're going to want to get out of there before he loses one. Losing Blink Stalker is going to be incredibly important right now. Not something he's going to want to do. Looks like he's just going to start that bunker on fire right there and make some SCVs go put it out. Play the role of fireman, but I don't really see Goody coming up behind in this situation unless Mana has some very nice engagements here. Those Archons are going to be absolutely key to any sort of engagement in the end of this game, and actually is going to be going for Cloaked Banshees, which is something you almost always want to do against Protoss players in a base trade scenario, just because they can't have observers all around the map. So if you get a couple of Cloaked Banshees out and you just kind of spread them around the map, it becomes very difficult for the Protoss player able to defend his base. Looks like Marines are going to come out and scare those Blink Stalkers away. Back control! Loses the Stalker there. Not the best thing to happen to Mouz.Mana right there. as each of those stalkers is going to be incredibly important when the actual engagement comes, as he's completely devoid of minerals right now. So, I mean, he just got all of his pylons back, but he still has to build a gateway before he can build the additional forces, so he's definitely going to be quite behind Goody right now, who I think has a similar number of SCVs, but has a, less, also has mules and a lot of energy built up in this orbital command considering the amount of time. Of course, it is partially balanced out by the fact that Mouz.Mana does have the gold. Starport has finished. Oh, and it's just going to get one Banshee, and the Banshee's going to target down the robotics on the pylon. Very smart job on his part. Something Mouz.Mana could potentially defend against. He does have Blink Stalkers, which will allow him to be able to get there just a little bit quicker and be able to deal with that. Also, nice observer placement. Look at that vision. Beautiful. He can see the entirety of the army and its positioning right now. He knows there is no chance of defeating that. There are also 2 Banshees currently in the army right now. I'm kind of curious if he's going to end up getting Cloak. I would guess that he is. As I almost wonder, is there only one observer out? Yes, there is only one observer out. So actually, if he scans, which I mean I'm not sure if he is or not, but if he scans and then he kills this with the Banshee that he's building right here, then Cloak would basically just kill Mana. Like Mana would just die. These Banshees are both at full health. They would just Cloak and kill everything in kill everything in Mana's army and just win. Well, it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a standoff right here. Blink Stalkers are going to try to move over here. Oh, an additional... Oh, no, he's building an Immortal, actually. Okay. So he's going to try to get an Immortal out. Looks like the Immortal probably is not going to get out. However, the Immortal should finish once that second pylon goes ahead and finishes. Go aheads. I don't know what I was trying to say. These Blink Stalkers should be able to engage. Oh... And do a good amount of damage, not quite able to take out that Banshee right there. And Goody's definitely going to try to be careful with that. Every unit matters in these sorts of situations, especially when supply is this close. However, Goody is now up 20 supply, which is quite a large supply lead. It looks like he is actually moving in for the kill. He has 5 siege tanks, and holy crap, that's a lot of Marines. Alright, so he's 24, 37 Marines. That's pretty good. And 2 Banshees and the medevac, right? Yes, the medevac as well. Never forget about the medevac. Looks like that has been repowered. The Immortal has come out. And it looks like a small little counterattack right here is going to go ahead and actually take out a barracks right here. C6 is going to siege up, and the Zealots are going to withdraw. Not really going to do him much good. That scan is also wasted as well. Ooh, does he still have that Observer? Yes, he still has the Observer. Observer is important. I guess it's not super important because Goody did not opt to go for that Cloak. Cybernetics Core, meanwhile, is on the way, as well as the first Warp Gate, so we can get 1 Zealot right now. But I don't think there's any way Mana's going to be able to hold this off. And actually, he's engaging right here. Not the best engagement at all right now. And those Marines are dealing so much damage. Even the unsieged tanks are just tearing through everything. And Mana is absolutely going to have to GG out of this game. And wow, quite a walloping there. And looks like Goody is just going to go ahead and move through and just defeat the entirety of this army. These probes are going to try to escape again. It looks like they are going to go ahead and escape. And really funny, 25 minutes in, still no stim pack. Those Blink Stalkers are going to go ahead and move in, try to pick off some SCVs, but that's not going to matter because Yuma kills buildings faster than Blink Stalkers. A ton of siege tanks and Marines, as well as medevacs. I think looks like the Banshees were in fact taken out. Meanwhile, a couple of Mortals are being built. Looks like there are 5 Blink Stalkers left. Barely able to take the last one, however, is going to be focused down by those Marines that were in the bunker. Looks like he is going to be able to take it out, but Mana is dead right now. He is down 25 supply, half of his supply is gone. He is trying to rebuild in the other gold base, but he has just lost his base for the second time. And it's actually almost a little bit of a secondary base trade scenario right here. Looks like he is able to get these Blink Stalkers out though, which is actually fairly impressive. And I think, what is he? Is that his only probe? He has 4 probes total. Kind of interesting he decided to get the blue minerals instead of the gold minerals, is that you can just queue up those, and that'll give him 6 higher minerals, which clearly would be the difference between victory and defeat in this game. Obviously not quite, but, you know, I guess it could be important. Looks like a defensive force is going to stay back, as well as this little attacking force. Either of those could defeat the army. However, what does he have? 3 Immortals and 4 Blink Stalkers. Yes, absolutely loses to that army. So, looks like these little forces are going to move through. However, the Immortals actually engage these siege tanks, which are completely naked. That could even things up a little bit. Looks like the siege tanks are going to in fact be taken out, but one of the Immortals is going to go down. Marine reinforcements are coming up. Blinkstalkers are going to retreat away. Very nice job. Immortal is going to be able to retreat away as well. Unfortunately for him, this Nexus is going to go down, which is I think the 4th Nexus that Mouz.Mana has lost in this game. He is trying to counterattack here. He needs a focus fire with those Immortals right there. He needs to focus fire them on top of the siege tanks. Looks like he's doing just that. The siege tanks are falling quite rapidly to those Immortals right here. And actually, oh my god, he's going to win. Wow, he just defeated that army. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so Goody has a bunker right now, and he has only 1 barracks that's actually producing any forces right here. No siege tanks are coming out right now because he actually doesn't have enough gas to produce a siege tank. He actually very bad control at the end of the game. Goody got extremely sloppy after he destroyed his opponent's base, probably wondering why his opponent was staying in the game right now. But with these 4 Blinkstalkers and these 2 Immortals, I think actually Mana, oh my god, okay, so Mana actually is still way behind on Harvesters. He only has 4 Harvesters to opponents. How many Harvesters is he? Has a lot more than 4. So he actually needs to successfully attack Goody in order to be able to move through. He does still have that Zealot, 4 Stalkers. We're going to get a Units tab. That's going to be more important for the moment right now. It's worth noting that a Banshee is in fact on the way. Nice little blink up. I'm going to be able to deal a little bit of harassment right here. Be able to focus down some SCVs. Looks like the Marines are going to go ahead and get out of the barracks. Ooh, he does not want to lose that Blink Stalker. He needs to blink that Stalker away, looks like. Very nice control so far. He's doing a pretty good job. However, he's going to have the blink timing done. Oh no! Alright, so a little bit of botch control there. I think Mana is still going to lose this game. He does have 2 Immortals. Where's that Banshee? Did the Banshee's just waiting right now. Okay. Looks like those Stalkers are trapped in just a little bit. There are, how many Marines are here? Alright, so there's 7 Marines left. Oh, only 1 more Blink Stalker though. Alright, well that's going to be trouble. Looks like those Immortals are going to move through though. That Zealot, oh my god, they're actually going to take out the bunker right now. Those Immortals are going to take down almost all the Marines as well. He needs to pull his SCVs. He needs to pull his SCVs real quickly right now. This is the last force of Mana right here. This game is being ridiculous right now. Look at that Immortal Micro right there against those SCVs. Those SCVs are going to prove too much, so he's going to have to withdraw. He can't withdraw fully because the Immortal is so slow though, and it looks like Mana is maybe still going to lose. There are 2 Banshees. And actually, Goody just needs to move those Banshees in. Actually, there it is. That Banshee just sealed the game. Alright, and Mana is going to have to GG out of the game. Wow, I thought for a second Mana was actually going to be able to take that game. That engagement there where those 6 siege tanks and like 15 Marines were taken out by 4 Blinkstalkers and 2 Immortals was just absolutely ridiculous. I thought, oh my god, I thought Mana was actually going to turn that around. But it looks like Mana was not able to turn that around. And in fact, Goody was able to take that game, so Goody took game number 2. This was actually, there were only 2 replays available on the website that I got this from, so it's possible that there was another replay. I will look for it, and I will cast it if it's available, but if it is not available, I apologize. And maybe it was just, maybe they do a different format. This is from the Grubby Invitational, I believe, or, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what this was from. But I'll go ahead and check, and I apologize. If not, it was 2 one-off games. If so, that's fine. It was really great seeing these players play. This game actually ended up being really exciting. I can't believe how close it ended up being. I thought Goody had it in the bag several times, and Mana was just like barely able to claw his way in there and almost took it out, but not quite able to pull through in the end, and Goody was proved the victor there. Well, okay, so what I say is, I thought Goody had a number of times. Mana was almost able to call his way back. Not quite able to do that, unfortunately. But I hope you enjoyed these casts. This is PGMonecraft signing out. Thanks for watching.